Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to 22 Panels. My guest tonight is Stephen Fox, who has a book called Scar Tissue Bargains, um, launching soon on Kickstarter. I got to read a copy of it. It was pretty cool. Steve, do you prefer Steve or Steven? I should have asked that off air.
I'm okay with either one. My folks
Uh,
call me Steven. Most of my friends call me Steve.
okay, okay. So you'll answer to either and not go, it's Steven, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a little bit of martyr complex that comes with Steven, but yeah.
Saint Stephen with a rose. Sorry, it's my favorite Grateful Dead song. So as soon as you said
Yeah, it happens.
it, give us the front counter pitch for Scar Tissue
Yeah.
because it was an
So,
interesting book.
well, I think thank you. Interesting is a interesting word. So,
I'll say interesting, good. If that
yeah.
if that makes you calmer, interesting, good.
Oh no.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate constructive criticism, so I'm open. But yeah,
well,
it's
you need to work on spelling a little bit, but I think only three or four different places. I hope you did digital lettering because you should do
I
another
did.
pass.
Okay. No, I appreciate that actually. Yeah.
I'm
The
sorry, I'm a teacher, so I noticed like
No, you're totally fine. Yeah. Well, I'm still I have preview copies and I actually have some friends proofing it, so it's good
okay.
timing. But yeah, the ultimately it's uh I'm in I'm almost 50 and uh just kind of discovering while raising kids and going through this time in life, one of the things that I've sort of struggled with is like this idea of control and how we
What?
try to
You didn't
how
give
we
up on control like 3 months, 3 minutes after the first child was born?
I know, right? Yeah, no, it took me until
You're
teen
a
years.
slow learner.
I am. Yeah, well, I've never been accused of being overly intelligent, so but yeah.
I mean, I have grandkids now. I can say this. I
No,
get
man.
the
No, I appreciate it. Um, but yeah,
control's a hard enough concept before you have kids, but I'm
it
sorry.
is. Yeah, well, I'm a
Once they
slow learner.
start moving on your own, if you haven't given up the idea of control,
Yeah.
you're in for a ride.
Yeah, well, that's me, stubborn and a little slow. So but yeah, it's inspired by like 80s black and white indie books.
Right.
The Crow actually the like James O'Barr's biography about how he wrote that story and why like really kind of hit me because it was a lot of catharsis and therapy and processing. He had a lot of really dark stuff happen while he was working before he was working on that book. My book's not rooted in that kind of pain, but it's just my way of it's kind of a love letter to my kids and just what it's like to just realize sometimes you have to just let go of the control piece and suffer the consequences, I guess. But but yeah, it's about a father who ends up bargaining with a demon for his child's life. Pretty straightforward. It's been done a few times, like Spawn, The Crow, that kind of thing. But his body, as he serves this demon, every time it's damaged, it grows back a little more demonic. So that's kind of the, you know,
Like, and this is where I have to like admit that The Crow,
yeah,
on one level is like a blind spot in my reading. I haven't
yeah,
actually ever read any of The Crow,
yeah,
but I know it's second publisher, and I know one of the first people other than O'Barr to do art for it.
yeah.
So I really
Oh,
should
awesome.
event eventually, because Kitchen Sink published the graphic novel.
Yeah,
They collected it all the Caliber stuff together, and they did the graphic novel, and then they did a miniseries afterwards.
hmm
Um, and then Jim Terry was one of the first non James O'Barr
yeah,
people to draw for The Crow. I think he actually drew something that James wrote, but I'm
really.
having to look that up. And that popped
Yeah.
in my head because Jim Terry made a movie recently that's filming at the Goodman or showing at the Goodman in 12 days.
Yeah.
And I will be going again. I went to the first screening at the Davis Theater, but now they're at like, I mean, the Goodman's more known for theater than movies, but hey, they're at the
Yeah.
Goodman
Yeah, man.
on May 30th.
Yeah.
So anybody
Wow.
who is anywhere near Chicago or the description of Jim's movie, it's called Shank, and I promise we'll get back to your comic, but I love this
No,
movie
no,
so
no.
much, and people need to see it.
Yeah.
Um, the description is if Monty Python made John Wick on no budget.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it sounds very worthy of a
And
watch.
that's actually a pretty accurate. It's
Yeah.
like, but I actually find it brilliant in part because like when you have no budget, there are two ways you can handle things, and
Yeah.
the way that people most often go is to treat it seriously anyway
Yeah.
and act like this is the way you wanted it to look. And that
Yeah.
almost never works.
Yeah.
Jim and company leaned into the no budget. They made up for lack of visual effects with like over the top sound effects.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
They
some of the
made up
flying,
for like lack of fight choreography by doing weird camera stuff to make it look
yeah.
fun anyway.
Well, I tell you, like some of my favorite stuff from Flying Circus is a little bit of that, like the
Right.
giant foot of God and like like the illustrated pieces that are kind of put in, in
Right.
lieu. Yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
that sounds
no, I
clever.
mean, I like, and it's got like Jim's an accomplished comic artist, so like he's got an eye for a good shot.
Yeah, yeah.
So he might not have like the effects budget. He might not have act. I mean, Tim Seeley is an actor in it. That gives
Oh,
you
that's cool.
like idea of the quality of the acting.
He's got a pretty good sense of humor though. But
Tim
yeah,
Seeley was totally outshined by his wife and daughter, who also acted in the scene with him.
yeah, man. Well, that's what would happen, I think, with most guys if their husband or their wife and kids were. Mine
Right,
would outshine me for sure.
right. So, and actually, that goes back to this because that's the sensibility that I'll give you, and like the hat tip I'll give you because, like, don't take this wrong. I can tell that you're a 50-year-old or 40
Yep.
something
Yeah. 49.
making
Yeah.
his first comic
Yeah.
or his first comic for real, who's probably drawn off and on and has notebook comics here and there through the years, but like
Yeah.
because there are things that are really really high quality, and there are things that are like okay. I mean, like I'm gonna call out something because
Okay.
I honestly don't know if it was intentional because the more I looked at it, the more I'm sitting there going, I could see a way where this could work. But you've
Yeah.
got the page where it's about the raindrops
Yeah.
on the windshield,
Yeah.
but they're streaming the wrong direction.
Yeah. That's because when I was a kid and we were driving, I would watch the front windshield and it would blow the raindrops up on the wind as the wind kind of carried him. And it was also supposed to be like because that's the turn in the story, right? Where he's
Right.
like accepting that he doesn't have control.
And see
Yeah.
that's like eventually I'm like, you know what? I don't think this was an accident. But as I was reading it, it really got to me. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not how they should look. They should did he accidentally invert the art before
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, and truth be told, I drew it exactly the way you're describing with them rolling down. But I was
because
thinking,
even going like it depends on the car
it
whether
does.
they
Yeah.
go up.
Yep.
no
Well, those
matter
old
what speed you're
80s.
going. And you're
Yeah.
right. When we were kids, it was more likely because there was a different angle to the
Yeah, man. Well, the old Chevy Novas, and an Oldsmobile Supreme.
right.
I can only attest to the
But
raindrop flow
still,
on those.
that was
Yeah,
my initial. I'm like, dude, they're these are great raindrops, except
they're upside down. Yeah, yeah. No, I actually, I tell you this though, yeah, even though I made that decision, whether it looks off or not, I do appreciate like that kind of feedback because it's
yeah.
like,
Well,
it's,
and like
you know,
I never want to get too. I try not to get too hypercritical when I'm talking to people.
yeah,
I hope that enough people have listened to other because we've done a lot of Kickstarters with, or, a lot of,
mhm,
yes, I have the big guys, but I like to talk to everybody.
yeah,
Um,
no, yeah,
and I will first say I am not an artist. I am not an editor.
yeah,
I can tell you the books to read. Um,
mhm,
but I have read a lot of comics,
yeah,
which is why, certain things will stand out to me. Like your art itself is very good. You're
cool,
still working on your acting. You're still
yeah,
working on your pacing. You're still
yeah,
working on panel placement.
yeah,
I don't know if the pages that are completely text work or not. But at the same time, sometimes, particularly with a young artist, it's like, I mean, we were talking about Terry Moore off air, and some of the
yeah,
early strangers, like particularly early strangers in paradise, would wind up having a whole page of prose or 2 pages of prose. And like in
yep,
some ways it's like, come on. And on the other side, it's like, this is actually kind of important to the story. And I don't
yeah,
know how to draw it either.
yeah. Well, and I tell you too, like one of the, you're totally right, about a lot of what you're kind of talking about. Um, I, for a long time when I was young, like I really wanted to take the typical path of working for the big guys. One day, doing some independent work. I did some independent comics for very small publishers. But the further I got in, I don't know why, personality or whatever it was. It's really hard, to be an artist and draw someone else's story. It's a discipline that I don't think most folks like me have. It's just a lot harder than you know.
I mean, it's also, I mean, one of the things I've learned is it's not just really hard to be an artist
Hmm.
drawing other people's stories, but it's a challenge to be a writer
Yeah.
writing for somebody else, particularly if, as is generally the case, not quite always in comics, um, but is generally the case, you did make comics on your, I mean, like
Hmm.
Brian Bendis used to draw his own comics. Not
Yeah.
well. He'll be the first one to tell you. But
Yep.
Dinks and Goldfish actually got published, as did I
Yeah.
forget what the other one before that, even though I have a copy of the book that he doesn't like to talk about.
Well, even like Battle Pope, you know what I mean? And
Right.
why am I blanking on? He's like the most famous writer in comics right
Is
now.
that
I can't think of his
Kirkman?
name. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, and it's where I ended up was like, just accepting the fact that it's like, okay, I have a really hard time not drawing and not writing. So like, what are my goals? Is it to like, because this to me, it just wasn't attainable because like looking at the artists that were new, they were so far ahead of me, in all of those like those hard skills that you were kind of outlining, like the
Hmm.
storytelling and those things. But my favorite, you know, books from my youth were not always like The Crow. One of the things I like about it is he's a really fantastic illustrator, but it has some of the shortcomings that I have. I'm
Right.
not trying to like James O'Barr I'm not comparing myself to him, but I saw a kindred spirit in some of
I mean,
like
I haven't actually read it, so I can't speak to it.
yeah.
Maybe you're better than he is. We'll give you
Oh,
that for the
I'm
heck
not
of
gonna
it.
say that. I'm not gonna say that. But I will
I
say
mean,
this.
this he
He
eventually had other people draw for him. So I mean,
yeah. Well, like the crow.
here I'll give you
Yeah.
something.
Okay.
You're a way better artist than Tom King.
Oh, I'll take that. Yeah. Well, cool.
Though he
That's how I'm gonna
does
introduce
still lay
myself.
out a pretty good page for his really bad art.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his cover
Yeah.
composition is generally pretty good. It's just the art
Really?
that
Yeah, man. Well,
I mean, I
yeah.
just like to. I'm friendly with Tom. He's been on a few times.
Awesome, man.
He he
Yeah.
he he drew one cover, or he had one person ask him to draw a cover. And he drew like the stick figure, Batman, etc. Um, and as a result, like it started becoming a thing, and he had to start charging $50 per cover just because
Yep.
otherwise everybody would because he's and I actually saw it happen once. He's like, but here's the thing. It takes me as long to draw that as it takes Mitch to draw a good cover.
Yep. That's really funny. Well, it's yeah. So I've wondered if I should kind of let go of the drawing, but it's important to me. So, and that's the thing too.
No, I mean you shouldn't.
Yeah.
That wasn't at all the point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, really, I guess where I was going as I was interrupting you is I see this a lot. There
Yeah.
there there are certain people who insist that the only pure comics are the ones that are written and drawn together,
Yeah.
um, or by the same person rather.
Yeah.
Um, Here I'm gonna show you a Tom. And to be fair, most of the time he's drawing somebody else's cover from memory, so you can't actually give Tom the credit for the composition because it's really somebody else's composition. So here's one of his
Well,
Batman covers.
he's pretty wildly creative anyway.
Oh, he's a very good writer.
That's
But,
fantastic. I love
I mean, there's a
it.
reason why they
Yeah.
put his covers out on April Fool's Day.
Well, I'll definitely say that's how I'll introduce myself. Tad Eggleston said I'm a better artist than Tom King.
I mean, I bet you Tom wouldn't I bet you Tom wouldn't even ask to see your art before. I mean, just from what I know of Tom, I bet you
Yeah,
he wouldn't even ask to see your art before being willing to say that you were a better artist.
acquiescing. Yeah. Well, he's a hell of a lot better writer than I am. So
That's his. I've heard he was pretty good in the CIA too. That's a whole
oh
different
yeah,
skill set. Uh,
yeah, yeah. Good grief. Yeah. But yeah, it's like I don't know, man. Once you hit, I mean, that's the thing about midlife, right? You decide, am I going to keep kind of chasing the dreams I had as a kid that were not informed by reality, or am I going to accept where I am and try and enjoy it? And like for me, the work that I do now, because like I did a fantasy storybook that was kind of about things that were going on in my personal life, and then Scar Tissue is it's the same thing. It's therapy. You know what I mean?
right.
And it's like I
Well,
want to
see, that
share
makes you
it.
very much like Tom King too.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well,
Oh
see,
God. I mean, I
he's
don't know
so
if you've
good
read
though. It
his
doesn't.
books, but you can
Uh,
see him working out the PTSD on the page.
yeah, yeah. It's not like I mean, especially I guess Mister
I mean, normally this
Mister.
is where
Yeah,
I'd plug our Visionaries and Inquiries, the work of Tom King from a therapeutic
yeah,
perspective, book club, but
yeah,
Edgar's been really busy with the new comic shop lately, so we haven't recorded one of those episodes yet in 2026. We're
yeah,
stalled out in Batman.
yeah, man. Well, actually, yeah, man. That would be worth checking out actually. So
Well, I mean, I mean, again, I keep like you caught me in a mood where my autistic brain is making all of the connections. Like we're just
yeah,
talking Jim Terry. Jim Terry's
Yeah.
best book, the one that he's most known for, is Come Home Indio, which is absolutely him working through
Yeah.
his relationship with the Indian side of his heritage, his relationship with his alcoholism, in
Yeah.
recovery,
Are you familiar with Greg Shiner? He's
rings bells.
yeah, his work is very honest,
Yeah.
really like rough and but it yeah, it's some of the most yeah. It's great.
No, I mean, I'm
And
just
it's
saying,
hard
like
to read
there,
and
there,
it's yeah.
there is a long, long history of of cartoonists working out their issues on the page.
Yeah.
Um,
So you that last book you mentioned, um, you said what was it called? Working
Come
out the
Home
Indian
Indio,
heritage. Cool. I was gonna take a
but
note of that. Sorry.
by Jim Terry.
Cool. All right.
Here, I'll dump his website into the chat while we're talking.
Awesome.
So yeah, we got completely off base. I was saying, give me the front counter pitch for your book. We
Yeah.
haven't actually said anything about what it's about. We've only talked
Yeah.
about
I'm sorry. Yeah. I
no, totally my fault here.
no, but well, I got
I mean,
into
I
it a
hope
little
you
bit.
feel
Yeah.
less nervous now that you can see how totally and utterly unprofessional I am.
Well, yeah, no, I, I feel less nervous, but it's yeah. The okay, front counter pitch. Uh, so a father's child is in a catastrophic accident, and he does what fathers do in those situations. Parents like prays and pleads to whatever invisible kind of force, and nothing responds. And then he screams out a blasphemous prayer and is met by an ancient blood god. And it's not even a bargain. The god does not barter with him. Instead, he says, "For your blasphemy, you're mine, and maybe I'll keep your child safe." But as Arthur Byrne, which I can tell you that where the name comes from, but you probably know if you grew up when I grew up and you love comics. But long and short, he's sent as a sacrificer to go um, kill anyone that Bastat deems as evil, and he does. And as he is wounded or harmed, his body grows back with demonic flesh. That's kind of the it makes him stronger, more powerful each time, but it also consumes his humanity. So, um, and of course, the demonic piece is about control and wrestling with like how we try to escape the things that are unpleasant in life. So that's kind of both sides of the story. So,
Yeah. I will say, because I'm just flipping through
yeah,
your um Kickstarter page and wishing I hadn't said anything about like the fact that you're working on your composition and whatnot, because I will give
yeah.
you really great credit for picking out the cream of the crop.
Oh, thank you.
And I also want to make it clear that you don't have bad pages. I can just,
Oh,
again, I can tell that,
yeah. I don't take that bad.
right.
Because I'll
Well,
say
I
this.
was like I
Yeah.
want to sell your book too, though. So for the listeners out there, hi mom, hi Adam, hi Britt, um, hi John. John, this would
Yeah.
actually be your kind of book. Um,
Well,
um,
yeah. For me,
the
yeah,
the roughness has the roughness is clearly informed by somebody who knows comics, just hasn't. I mean, it's
yeah,
kind of the 10,000 hour thing. you
Yeah.
know, I can tell that you're more in the 2 or 3,000 hour range, and maybe not even that many
Yeah.
hours of like organized practice as much as
Yeah.
disorganized practice.
Well,
Yeah.
and I spent a long time trying to figure out what I wanted to do because I worked as a, not exclusively, but like I contracted as a screenwriter for a while, and nothing turned out. I
Right.
help people with pitches and that kind of thing. So like comics, I just recently accepted that that's what I really want to do because it's been the most
Well,
impactful
because they're
medium for me.
better.
They are, and it's just like, and okay, so like I could have a credits page, but really like my inability to share or to put other people out.
But I'm just pulling this up. Your ability to balance the blacks and whites
Thank
on
you.
this page, and the borderless panels on both this page and this page that you
Mhm.
shared really worked incredibly well.
Thank
But
you.
like so, you
Well, and
know,
it's I think I'm learning, and that's my number. Like, there's two goals I have. One is to get these stories out in a comic format that I'm proud of, and
right.
proud doesn't mean that it's like it's what I exactly
Well,
what.
I mean, you should be proud for getting it out there. I mean, that was
Yeah,
actually kind of where I was going at the beginning, and I got
yeah,
sidetracked in my autistic way. Like, there's a lot to be said for I want to tell this story. I want to share this story, even
yeah.
though it's not perfect. We're actually going to put it out there rather than
Yeah. Well, and for this particular story, I kind of there were times I took it in to clean up some of like there's some stray lines from the scanner and that kind of thing
right.
that made it in, and I've thought about taking them out, and I was like, I think it's okay if they're really
Mhm.
minor. I actually want some of that tactile, and like some of the line work is not as crisp as it could be, like especially in there are moments that are memories, and they have a very
Right.
different black and white balance. Like the positive negative space is totally
Right.
inverted, more traditional. And but one of the things I was trying to say is like life with people you love is a struggle. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like just like me, 50, almost 50, trying to learn how to draw comics, that's a struggle too. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with it not being perfect,
Yeah.
because I really am excited to be learning. Like I have a good friend, Joseph Christie, who is a fantastic like fine artist, and he could tear my work apart if he wanted to. But he's so excited to see me improving, like
Right.
it is contagious for me. I'm like, yeah, man.
Well, but I'll toss out like the difference between fine art and storytelling art is massive as
Yeah,
well. Like fine artists can teach you all sorts of things that you can put to storytelling, but there are lots of fine
yeah,
artists that can't
yeah.
tell
Well, what's
stories with their art. And there
yeah,
are lots of great storytelling artists that will never ever be fine artists.
yeah. No, absolutely.
You
Unfortunately,
know,
Joe is fantastic at both, so he sucks. But
well, shouldn't that be fortunately?
oh yeah,
Doesn't
exactly.
that make
Yeah.
him more of a mentor?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I'm going to share this podcast with Joe, yes, exactly.
I mean, because I mean that's it's something that comes up regularly. The artist on a comic, if you're trying to put it in movie terms, the artist on a comic is the
Mhm.
cinematographer,
Yeah,
the the actor, the costume designer, the set designer, the
yeah,
lighting director, sometimes the director.
yeah, yeah. Well, and I tell you,
I mean,
it's
really
funny.
everything
Yeah,
except the screenwriter and sometimes the director is
yeah,
is is the artist's job.
yeah,
You know, I mean, some of the best writers, like and again in terms of collaborative, part of this is also feeling out what their artist wants. You know, some of the best writers will learn, oh, you would prefer not to have to do full on costume design, so if I do the costume research and attach some pictures,
yeah. Yep.
that's going to make this better.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
oh, you want to pick out the cars, so don't even think about telling you what car should go in there, you know.
Yeah,
um Because I mean, going back to what you were talking about, like I I get the argument for the most pure comics being the one that are a singular vision,
Mhm.
but I think that also there are comics that are very clearly greater than the sum of their parts, where
Oh
each
yeah.
person wound up adding.
Hmm.
That's a question I'll ask teams regularly, as a writer.
Hmm.
To tell me a scene that like you got it back from the artist, you went, fuck, I wrote that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Or as the artist, tell me a scene that you got from the writer and you go, oh my God, this is amazing. I can't believe I get to bring this to life,
Yeah.
you know.
No, absolutely.
Um, and for
Yeah.
that matter, I mean, there are times where it's the letterer, they get it back once it's fully lettered and going, oh my God, wow.
Yeah, the old Walt Simonson. Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, I mean, first of all, I think we've had four, maybe five letterers on now, and
Mhm.
there's nobody who knows more about comics than letterers.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
among other
Well,
things, they're the first person to get to see the like finished version
yeah. Yeah. One of
because they're
my,
putting on the
well, there's a guy, Russ Wooten, who's on,
who I haven't
uh,
had on yet, but I want.
oh, yeah, he's on
I've heard good
Instagram.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again, he doesn't know who I am, but he's so
right.
kind.
Yeah, yeah.
And he has
He seems
been
like a
in,
cool guy.
yeah, he's been all over so many, like from working with like the
Hmm.
new Youngblood stuff to like older, like he's been all over and done
Hmm.
like worked for Wizard at one point, and he's one of those behind the scenes guys that he'll come out with something and you're like, I didn't know that,
Yeah.
and that doesn't happen a lot
No,
because
no.
I'm all nerd.
Like we've had Clayton Coles a couple of
Mhm.
times, who does all of Tom King's stuff, all of Batman, all of Star Trek, a lot of Star Wars,
Yeah,
a lot of X-Men,
yeah.
lot of stuff, period, because most letterers do.
Hmm.
We've had Hassan Atsmain El How, who
Oh well.
uh he had a criticism magazine called oh, what was it called? Can't remember right now what the criticism magazine was called. Though his
Mhm.
YouTube channel is called Strip Panel Naked, and it's great. It like breaks
I'll
down it
write that
it
down too.
it breaks how things work, you
Yeah,
know. I love hate the fact that he's been working so much that he hasn't been able to put new videos up. But
yeah,
he's like the probably half of your favorite, not I mean he does Marvel and DC too, but probably half or more of your favorite Marvel and DC book or non-Marvel DC books, he did the
yeah.
letters on.
Oh well.
And anything that has anything like crazy off the wall, he was probably the
Yeah,
one that did the letters.
yeah.
Uh, like he's doing
That's a
Absolute
yeah.
Martian Manhunter right now, among other
Oh,
things.
awesome. Yeah,
Right.
man.
Clem Robbins has been on. Clem Robbins was the original letterer for almost. I think he did all of 100 Bullets, and he did at least two other series with Azzarello and Rizzo, and he's been the letterer for the Hellboy universe for the last
Wow.
God
Good
knows
grief.
how long.
Yeah, I was looking over his YouTube. He's man. Yeah, he's done. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract, but yeah, that's a
now,
crazy
this
amount of
is what I
work.
do.
Yeah.
Hey, I get to make you go down rabbit holes. Normally, I'm the one that falls down rabbit holes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we have a mental pattern in common. So.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no. So like you did all of this,
Uh-huh.
um, and you talked about how you're most comfortable as an artist, and that
Mhm.
shows. Um, what was the most challenging overall?
Trying to figure out like what personal parts of life were okay to abstract and which
Okay.
ones. which ones could be just exactly like they were, like
Right.
there are conversations between my child and I, my wife and I, that like brush against reality, but they're not reality. But
Right.
they have those feelings, and so for me, like when you say hard, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Right.
Um, as far as like the technical piece,
I was about to say,
it's
how about from a more craft side?
yeah, it's just it's accepting. It's that same old thing. And I'm probably you know it's just accepting that this is my story that is important to me, that I want to tell as an artist and a writer, and accepting those limitations.
Okay.
That there's somebody who could draw it better. There's someone who could write it better. But it's not, you know what I mean? It would lose what's important to me about it,
Right.
and that goes back to me talking about like, okay, you realize that your dreams when you were a kid were rooted, maybe not
Right.
in
It
reality,
actually
you know.
reminds me of something that Victor sent. I forget if Victor said it when he was
Mhm.
on this show. I know he wrote it in one of his newsletters recently, where he
Yeah,
talked about sometimes it's hard to work with a writer who's written a really personal story
yeah,
because, like, once he's involved, it's his story too. So if they're
yep,
too precious about things, it means that he can't work. He can't
yeah,
do what he does,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Well, and for
Which
me,
is again where you go back to, and that's probably one of the reasons why, with few exceptions, most autobio comics are just that. They're autobio comics. They're not somebody wrote a comic that somebody else drew.
yeah, man, yeah, and it's,
You
yes,
know,
exactly, yeah,
um, because like a collaborative effort, you have to be open to, and again, it's a balancing act because like there aren't a lot of
yeah.
people that want to work full on Stan Lee Marvel method where it's just like, oh, give me a Silver Surfer story, Jack.
Yep. Well, and that's it's funny too. Like this is the first story that I've done that I didn't write the script first. So I worked with myself in the Marvel
Okay.
method, which that was if you're wanting,
I'm always fascinated by that too. I mean, I know
yeah,
people who are fantastic artists and like the writing's their least favorite part, and they still write themselves full scripts.
yeah, yeah.
They
I used to
might
do
do
that.
some
Yeah,
mild thumbnailing as
yeah,
they're doing their script to kind of work out, but like if they don't write themselves a full script, the drawing becomes too hard for them.
yeah. Well, and yeah, no, I can relate to that too because it's like you start walking out on air, like
Right.
you know what I mean? It's I always have to have an outline at least, even if it's flexible. If I
Right.
can go into it knowing, okay, because initially, the ending was very different, uh, and that's just not how I felt like it needed to go.
Initially Doctor Strange showed up. He had the Eye of Agamemnon or whatever, and
Yeah,
Spider-Man came and said, "I'll save the day." And then the guys at Disney said, Steven, see, here's the thing. We didn't give you permission for that.
right.
So you can
That's
put it up
exactly
on
right.
Kickstarter. So you had to
Um,
switch it to Mickey Mouse because he's public domain now.
I did, yeah. Well, it would be Cutter from ElfQuest, but yeah, exactly.
No, that's not public domain yet. You'd have
I
to
know.
talk to Wendy and Richard
Wendy.
Pini about that.
Honestly, I might break the law so that I can meet them. Yeah, they're two of my heroes.
I mean they've done shows recently, and I like they're on my list of people that I've talked to at shows and traded cards with and failed to
Yeah,
reach out since then, but they seem very amenable. You could probably send
yeah,
them an email and they would love to chat
really.
with you.
I'm so shy. Like it's taken me so
I mean,
long,
I mean, it's that's one of the crazy things about comics,
Yeah, yeah,
and I know it's not just me. Like I am shy too. In fact, I am one of my specific things that like I'm getting much better at because of this podcast, but
Yeah,
like was something that was a real problem for a long time that I discovered after starting the podcast. Ooh, this is a place to low pressure practice it, is
yeah,
reaching out to people I don't know, like you
yeah,
did when you emailed me, and
yeah.
asking for things.
Hmm.
So this thing that you just did with me. But so like I set myself a goal. I'm going to send like 5 emails a day, and I figured I'll get like one response a week, but I'll get the practice and I'll get used
Yeah.
to not getting too worked up and not hearing back. That's where everybody responds. Almost everybody says yes. I just slow down sending the emails because
Yeah.
like
You just didn't have time.
well, no, I didn't have enough time to record all the episodes.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. Well,
I
we're all
mean,
looking for that
and
safe
and
space,
I've
right?
recorded what, 800 episodes in less than 5 years?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Good Lord. Good grief. That's, yeah, more than one a week.
No, it's closer to 3 a week.
Yeah.
We have a minimum of 1 a week because we
Yeah.
haven't missed a week on our weekly episode. But we have 236 weekly episodes, and you're like, with
Yeah.
great power, number 318. Those are the interview episodes. There are 70
Yeah.
plus Love and Rockets book clubs. There are 41 heavy metal book clubs.
Man.
There
Yeah.
are 5 comics and baseball roundtables.
Man. Well, you're prolific at least.
I guess that's a word for it. I think my wife uses crazy sometimes,
Yeah.
but it's
Well,
not drinking, so like she's cool with it.
yeah. Yeah. Nope. Now that my kids are 13 and 18, I'm in a similar boat where there's a lot more grace for my weird habits or hobbies rather. Yeah.
See, I used to have a guy at a shop that I worked at. I love telling his story because he absolutely refused to ever take a receipt because he didn't want the evidence. He always paid in cash. I discovered that not only did he always pay in cash, but he had this system where
Yeah.
every time he went to the ATM, he took out $200 for like lunch, that sort of thing. Only
Yeah.
really, like he just had it timed out where he went to the ATM like every 3 or 4 days, and
Yeah.
whatever he had left over from the last time would just go in the glove compartment. So he had it for the trip to the comic shop
Oh,
on Wednesday.
that's really funny.
A- And I'm sitting there going, Mike, you know she knows how much money you spend on comics. They have the
Yeah.
price right on them. He's like, well, I tell her
Yeah.
I get a big discount. And I'm like, even if you get them at cost, like she's not dumb.
Right.
Like the biggest discount you would be getting is 50% off, and that's still a pretty big number, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Oh
but
man.
you have 5 kids and they're all fed and they're all clothed and they're all in sports that you get them to regularly, and you do the
Yeah.
chores around the house and
Yeah.
like, so she doesn't care.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
The the
Um,
the first time the first time you can't pay a bill because of the comics you bought, then they'll become a problem.
yeah. Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
Spider-Man habit is not something that bothers your wife.
Well, I find that things that keep us sane, our wives are in favor of, or at least mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, particularly when they're like not unhealthy.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean, there
yeah,
are people
absolutely.
who say that, like, I need that night at the bar with the boys to stay sane. I don't think wives are as forgiving of that most of the time,
Yeah.
particularly not if you come home different.
Knocker. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Yep.
But like a comic book,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
reading in the bathroom, spending 10 minutes more in the bathroom because you had to finish the comic you were reading. Eh,
Yeah.
even less so if you have enough bathrooms in the house.
Right? Yeah. And you're not, yes.
You know?
That always makes me think of books being marked. Sorry, that's a tangent, but from
No,
Seinfeld.
we're all. Have you noticed? Have we done anything but tangents tonight, Steve?
No, no, and
Okay.
it
Okay.
makes me feel comfortable. So,
Okay. We haven't done anything. Okay. I'm going to ask one of my actual questions now. Um,
yeah,
one of the ones that I used to ask a ton. I've gotten away from it, and I need to bring it back more because I love it.
yeah,
Tell me your comics biography.
yeah.
Obviously not your bibliography. You don't have a lot of comics. Your comics biography. Tell me about like what comics you remember reading earliest, what comics you
Yeah,
remember buy, a lot of people like remember that first comic that they bought
yeah,
for themselves.
yeah.
Um the
So,
what books were formative, what books were ooh, I want to do this.
oh yeah, oh my gosh. My brother, 7 years older than me, first books that I really read were the digest size Legion of Superhero reprints from the 60s.
Ah,
Um, I
my
really,
buddy Johnny is the world's biggest Legion of Superheroes fan.
really, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
he has me get pictures of people in their Legion of Superheroes rings.
That's awesome.
He
Yeah,
he
man. The
he he
first,
he,
gosh,
he moderates like a invite only Facebook group that also include has it's like four part fans and one part
yeah, man.
creators. Yeah, we've had two or three Legion of Superhero roundtables on 22 panels. You can go back and listen to those too. I love
Yeah,
it when I hear
absolutely.
Legion of Superheroes because it makes Johnny happy.
Well, and the truth of it is, like, there are so many. I feel like there's so many epochs to that series that are
Yeah,
fantastic. Of course, you have like the original era, and then like Giffen dominated that title for so long, and then you
almost
know,
had Giffen.
oh my gosh, oh that is
He
yeah,
was
man.
booked.
Wow,
He was
yeah,
booked
really,
on the
gosh,
morning of our last Legion of Superheroes roundtable. We got the email from his son-in-law that he'd gone into the hospital.
oh my gosh, that's terrible. That stinks.
Yeah,
Yeah, he.
but we had Levitz
Oh,
and Tom
awesome.
Barenboim.
Yeah. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Yeah. Well, yeah, there were so many artists like even when Giffen was penciling it too, like
Yeah.
that was a really fun era and it was kind of transformative. Of course, like everybody else, well, I shouldn't say everybody else, John Byrne, Arthur Adams, Alan Davis in particular.
Wait a
Uh,
minute. Arthur Byrne. Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, man. Well, what's funny, and I mean no disrespect to Todd McFarlane, but when the McFarlane wave took over high schools, because when you would take in an Amazing Spider-Man with Todd McFarlane illustrations, like the dudes would look over your shoulder, and you'd have like four or five people looking at the art, and then so that kind of entranced me in high school. And then I ran into Arthur Adams' X-Men annual, like the series of annuals where Storm is Willie Mjolnir, and that art blew my mind. It was so like it was like anyway. It felt like all the things that were just a little bit askew with McFarlane were like perfect. And Anyway, so Arthur Adams was a big one. His work now, like he's fallen in this like unending cross-hatching, uh, but he's a master at it. Oh man, oh Elswin, yeah.
Did you
I
see this?
actually, I did. Yeah. Well, he's only him. He's the only freaking person on the planet who isn't getting paid to do it and would do it anyway because he's,
Well, but he is now. They're releasing
yeah.
it June
Oh, really?
23rd.
Oh,
Abrams.
oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Three
Wow.
hardcover volumes starting in June.
Oh, that's so cool. See, the
Yeah.
last I'd heard, the kayfabe guys had gotten a bootleg of it
Yeah.
that had been compiled. That is so cool.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, man.
So
Well,
so it's actually coming. That's
yeah,
why I
man.
was John Byrne, X-Men Elsewhere. We've talked about it a few times, but I figured I should
Yeah.
tell my mom what I was showing Stephen.
Um, well, and I tell you too, so John Byrne, um, his he did a Red Sonja Spider-Man, I think it was Marvel Team Up, that
I
was
think I
like,
remember that.
yeah, it was like this perfect combination. I the way I remember it, I could be mistaken about the inker, but I thought it was Terry Austin, and he had this smooth quality that he would bring to Byrne's work that I really miss. But man, it
You
was just
mean,
beautiful.
and I say this with dripping sarcasm, the
Yeah, yeah.
inkers are important. They're not just
I know.
tracers.
I know. Yeah. Well, it's like Farmer and Davis, right? Like to me, and so good Lord, Silvestri's, I, yeah, his era on X-Men, and then
Miles Jansen.
yeah, my last hero. Oh yeah, my last hero really like in my that before I was like I really want to do this was
And the
Mike
answer is
Ringo.
yes, Terry Austin.
Oh, good. Yeah, I hate it when I misremember
This
because
one,
it's going to be yes because it's yep. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. The first couple of pages are in the middle of a storm, and to this day,
Marvel Teen Up number 79.
yeah, um, yeah. The art in that is it's aside from the Avengers run or the Avengers issues that Byrne did. In my mind, they're the best. I mean that, and then the last Galactus story ever told. All of those are like next level Byrne. He has, he's always great, but there was just the lines just sang in those
But
books to me.
everybody knows that was issue 79, which means it was 5 issues after the greatest Marvel team up ever. The one
I
the
don't want to
one that
guess
I
because I don't want
have
to embarrass myself.
hanging on the wall in my living room.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Sorry, I'm blind.
The one with John Belushi on the cover.
Okay, I'm a
Live
little
from
less
New
embarrassed that
York. It's
I.
Saturday night.
That's cool. Man.
Chris Claremont and Bob Hall.
Wow.
Colors by Marie Severin and letters by the great Gasper Saladino.
Yep. Oh my gosh. But yeah,
Featuring the first appearance of Bill Murray and Garrett Morris and Jane Curtin, Jim Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, Lorraine Newman, Gilda Radner. All of them are
I didn't.
first appearances. I think most of them are last appearances too.
Right. Man, I didn't know they did that. That's actually kind of cool.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. I don't think it's ever been reprinted
yeah.
because it says it's on Marvel Unlimited now. Is it actually? I don't think it
Oh,
actually is.
yeah. I need to actually subscribe to Marvel Unlimited.
Because like they don't have the rights anymore is my
Oh, yeah.
hunch.
To the likenesses.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. A lot of those are probably estates now that manage. Yeah.
Radner and Belushi, I think, are the only ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, and Stanley, because Stanley's in it too. But Bill
Yeah. I
Murray's
do have
still
a habit of.
alive. Jane Curtin, I think, is still alive. I know Dan Aykroyd's still alive. Lorne Michaels is still alive. Garrett Morris is still alive.
Yeah.
I don't know about Lorraine Newman.
Well, I do have a habit of burying people before their time. So,
Well, I mean, everybody thought Stan was dead like a decade before he was. So
yeah, that's true.
as soon as he stopped appearing in Marvel movies,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, goodness. But yeah, actually, did you know John Byrne did you probably do, but he did he penciled like a single book for ElfQuest.
I
Um,
did not.
It's crazy. I'd never seen it before. I ran into it in a back issue
That's
bin.
that's cool.
It is, yeah, and it's the only. I'm very particular about Wendy Penny being the only
Yeah.
person who could draw ElfQuest, but he
Yeah.
does a pretty killer job. So anyway.
No, I am most familiar with
Mhm.
actually his Fantastic Four run,
Yeah,
just
I was
because
late to the party.
it like my initial batch of comics
Mhm.
was just a box of stuff that had been mostly my Uncle Adam's and some of my dad's
Hmm.
that my grandmother was happy to get out of the house. And it had a lot of Spectacular Spider-Man, a lot of Daredevil, a lot of Marvel team up,
Oh well,
Burns Fantastic Four run.
yeah, that's a good box.
It
Yeah,
was. It was a great box,
yeah,
but like a great box that also wasn't like had more spectacular than Amazing Spider-Man.
yeah,
It was kind of light on X-Men, heavier on Fantastic Four, but
yeah,
really only burn Fantastic Four.
yeah,
Um, I want to say
yeah.
it had some hands of Shang-Chi. Like it was a really good box, but not like the best sellers from the time. As it turns out,
Yep.
like my Uncle Adam had really good taste in which were the good comics, even when he was
Yeah.
like a grade schooler.
See, that's funny. My first Boxo comics, it wasn't a full box, but it was a stack of like Power of Warlock, like the Gil
Okay.
Kane issues, and then the Warlock Jim Starlin stuff. Which that's speaking of Jim Starlin's, I think his artwork is as amazing as his writing.
I need to read Dreadstar.
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
amazing things, and it just got reprinted.
Well, and I don't know, man. He does like this superheroic science fiction with like philosophy, and
Right.
it's just so good. The Longbow Hunters.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm still on
No,
my
you should
list of
be.
comics.
You should
Mike
be.
Grell.
Because
Uh,
we've barely started your list of comics. I took us I like you caught me on a weird day, Steve. I'm sorry. I'm all over the
no, you're fine.
place. Totally
It's
my
okay.
fault. I'm
No,
not letting you finish
honestly,
any thoughts. And I'm not
nobody.
even and
Yeah.
I'm not even interrupting them with full thoughts. I'm interrupting them with partial thoughts of my own. So I should really be
Uh,
apologizing to the listeners out there who've gotten a lot of half thoughts from both of us.
no, man. No, I don't get to talk in depth about comics, especially the old stuff very much, you know.
This this
Um,
this is one of the reasons why like it's easier to get people to respond
yeah.
and come on your show because like even some of the really popular people in comics don't have people that they get to talk comics with.
Yeah, I tell you, Angel Medina is one of the best dudes I've ever talked. Just he entertained my you mentioned autism and you you
I
may
actually have my diagnosis.
yeah, I
I got my
well
my neurodivergent t-shirt on right now.
well poor
I
some of
also
these
work
poor
in
people.
special ed, so I work with the autistic
Oh,
kids and
oh awesome, man.
can totally appreciate it because I'm one of them. They just didn't know it when I was their age because I could talk.
Yep.
It's amazing how
Yeah,
far we've come.
it is. Yeah,
If
man.
only somebody could tell the Health and Human Service Secretary that autism has been broadened in its that there
That's a
aren't
whole
more autistic people. We just have a better understanding of what autism is. Same
yeah.
number, just we don't call them other things now.
Yeah.
And
Well,
considering most of those other things were like really harmful.
I keep waiting for them to say it was Flintstone vitamins and not Tylenol, because that would
No, what it probably was anybody who took both Tylenol and Flintstone vitamins.
yeah,
They interacted
yeah,
together
Yeah, exactly. The the sugar and quasi
You want to know how
nutrition.
crazy I am? I've been playing with my Miles Morales action figure, but exclusively putting
Yeah.
him in pitching. Right now, he's doing his Juan Marichal impression.
Uh, See, now you're speaking outside of my knowledge, but I trust that that's very interesting and that he's a very capable pitcher. Uh, uh, yeah.
Sorry.
No, dude, I don't care.
I
I
just
think it's
laugh that
fascinating.
that's like what I do with my action. It's one of my favorite things about having extra
Yeah.
the extra points of mobility is that I can have them do baseball things.
Yeah. Well, you're one of the few that doesn't have them do dirty things. So
Uh,
baseball
I can
things is
have my
preferable.
Star Wars and Marvel action figures play baseball.
Yeah.
I once cheered up a comic writer friend of mine by putting together an entire ball field of action figures playing ball in positions and sending him a picture.
It was that the day that you requested the consultation on your neurodivergence.
No, I got that later. Though I did get it through a comics connection. So like,
Yeah. I'm not making fun, by the way.
no, I know you're not. I know you're not.
I look back on certain behaviors and I'm like, oh man, how did I
Well,
not know?
see, I mean, here's the thing. Like, and you're my age or possibly a year or two older because
Yeah.
you keep describing yourself as nearly 50, and I just turned 46.
Yeah.
Um, like I'm not joking. When in the era where most people are tested, which is like before they're five,
Yeah.
was the DSM-3, and in the DSM-3, if you could talk, you weren't autistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the DSM-4, there were speaking autistic people, but there weren't smart autistic people. So I still
Hmm.
wasn't autistic.
Yeah.
It was the DSM-5 where I finally qualified as autistic. But here's the thing, apparently 32-year-olds can't be autistic because you try to find an insurance company that will pay
Yeah.
for testing for anybody over the age of 18. Did you
Yeah.
know that there are no autistic adults in the world?
Uh,
It's what the insurance companies would like you to believe.
yeah.
Um,
Well, my
but I had
grandmother,
a health
uh,
scare and
I don't know.
we realized that part of what wound up making it scarier and definitely what wound up making it more expensive
Yeah.
was they were treating me like a horse when I was a zebra. And if I'd been able to convince them that I was a zebra,
Yeah.
they they might have done some things differently.
Yeah. 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 That's,
You,
yeah.
we spent 8 hours and I have decent insurance and it was still $1,500 after insurance
Yeah.
on all sorts of tests to make certain that I wasn't having a stroke when I like could tell you that I wasn't having a stroke except for the whole fact that I wasn't talking very well and that sounded like I was having a stroke.
Yeah. Wow. Man, that's scary. Yeah. My,
And that's
uh,
when my wife fell down the rabbit hole and it's like, oh, autistic people have worse health outcomes. Like so much worse that like life expectancy is 10 to 20 years shorter.
yeah.
Um, but like almost exclusively because of a communication,
Mhm.
not because they're more prone to things, but because they can't. So we
Yeah.
started looking for doctors that understood autism. We started making that the first thing that we told doctors is,
That's
hey,
really interesting.
he's autistic. You have to look at sensory stuff. You have to look at, what he
Yeah.
feels isn't necessarily like what other people feel.
Yeah.
Um, More
No,
and
that's
more, I'm
interesting.
convinced that about 60% of the world is neurodivergent. But the
Mm.
problem is the 40% that aren't are pretty much alike. And the 60% that are,
Yeah.
what, 60% of 9 billion is
Yeah.
a little bit more than five
54.
and a half billion.
Yeah.
So I figure of that 5.5 billion, there's at least 4 billion variants of neurodivergence.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing, the persistence is the discomfort, not the expression of the discomfort. Yeah.
The only thing that's consistent is we're not like those guys.
Yeah. And the
And those
prayer, why
guys
did
are
you?
really annoying and often
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah. Well,
My,
and
my
the,
wife has joined like every neurodivergent Facebook group or Instagram account, blah blah blah. So she's always sending me these cool things. And my favorite is still um fire was created by the neurodivergent guy at the back of the cave banging rocks together to see what will happen while everybody else was out front talking about their hair.
yeah. Yeah. That's funny. For me, it's rocking chairs, not rocks, but yes.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So,
I mean, not all of the neurodivergent guys were banging rocks together, but
yeah. Mhm.
like where neurodivergence seems to be a majority is arts and science.
Yeah. Well, and I think that there's a component of needing escape from, you know what I mean?
Well, there's
Yeah.
part of it's needing escape, but part of it is like by definition we think differently, and
Yeah.
if you're going to create things that are new on some level, it requires thinking differently.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't
Uh,
think the same way harder to make new
yeah.
things.
Uh, uh,
This falls into the things that are obvious for neurodivergent people, but really, really hard for neurotypical, or as I
yeah.
like to call them, neurodifficult. That was my other favorite meme that my wife ever sent me. It was a post from some mom that's like my 6-year-old neurodivergent son just called neurotypicals neurodifficult, and I love that. I'm using it from now on.
Oh man. Yeah. Well,
I mean, so much of my life is people saying, "Well, I don't understand that. I don't that doesn't make sense to me." I'm like, "I know,
yeah.
and I'm happy for you, but
Yeah.
that's how I work."
Yeah. Well, and having decades of learning how to navigate, you know what I mean, professional
Right?
and other spaces, it makes it hard for certain. Yeah. No, I know
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So we're starting into the indie phase because you mentioned ElfQuest, but I know
yeah.
that at some point you discovered Terry Moore too.
Yeah. Well, mostly it was just appreciating his art.
Okay.
I there are some books that like I couldn't stop reading, and some for whatever reason, it's not the quality of the writing. I just had difficulty reading it. And Terry
Right.
Moore's work, his like the more like realistic bodies and like the more like just tactile figures. I, I just really loved that approach.
Have you
Um,
picked up his How to Draw book?
Years ago, there
He
was
just
one, How to
updated it
Draw
too.
Women.
He
Really?
just updated it.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
It
Yeah, it was one
kickstarted
of the,
last year.
yeah, man. Well, in that book, actually, there was one How to Draw, I think it was maybe
How to draw
Realistic
women,
Women.
how to draw beautiful, how to draw something else.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
there
it
were
was,
4 of them.
well, it was just, I loved it because it talked about like the
Right.
natural like fat deposits that are avoided by most traditional artists. And I actually, one of the things that I, in this project and other ones, I just, I like the idea of heroes that look like um, people, run of the mill people, not, who have jobs and are stressed and, so anyway, his work, I, you know, um, but he has a quality that Kevin McGuire, they're not the same,
Yeah.
but
No, no, no. That's a good.
uh, but Kevin McGuire's figures, you can just feel them, and the expressiveness. Anyway, there's
Okay,
some
his
similarity
website
there.
is acting weird. I was trying to pull up the specific page
Yeah.
for the how to draw, but but it's not wanting to scroll down. So I can only look at like the stuff that's on top. Let's see if we can do it by maybe he doesn't have it up on his website because it's not in the Kickstarter second chances section yet. But yeah, abstractstudios.com.
Yeah.
Pay
Cool.
attention. He just put out a new
Okay.
version. It's really good. Nice
Okay.
hardcover.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I'll grab it for sure. I
And also just based on your reading, if you or just based on reading this comic, if you haven't read his Rachel Rising,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
should. Rachel Rising,
Yeah.
I think, would be way up your alley.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking notes while
I mean,
um,
I'm guessing that you love the art, but didn't get into Strangers in Paradise because it didn't have any genre stuff going for you. Though it
well,
did have some spy stuff going at various times, but it was a lot more two chicks
Mhm.
dealing with the world.
Yeah. Well, and that's, these days I kind of prefer more relational stuff, but yeah, I
Well, then maybe you
struggled,
should try
you know.
Cherry again.
Okay.
And they're all part of the same universe. But
Yeah.
Rachel Rising and Serial are kind of Serial's kind of very connected to Rachel Rising, are like his horror books in the universe.
Awesome.
Um,
Man.
Echo is his sci-fi book.
Hmm. Whoa, I didn't know sorry. I didn't know he ever did Birds of Prey. That's interesting.
Just a little bit. He also
So,
did one issue of Ultimate Marvel Team Up,
oh, okay.
and he did Peter and Mary Jane miniseries,
That's that sounds appropriate. That sounds like a good call.
and and he can talk for a long time on how Gwen Stacy was done wrong.
Yeah. Well,
He's a big Gwen fan.
really? Yeah. Yeah. Man. Um, yeah, I remember that was the first character in a comic that died that I knew of.
Yeah,
And then yeah. Um,
stayed dead almost as long as well, yeah, stayed dead almost as long as Uncle Ben, though
yeah.
like now it's less and less
Yeah.
because Gwen's come back in a couple of different ways, and Uncle Ben still really hasn't.
Yeah.
He's like the only person in all of superhero comics that like
It used to be.
died
Yeah.
and never came back.
Well, yeah, I remember the joke was Uncle Ben and Bucky, and then in the '90s, it all.
Right. And then Bucky came back.
Yeah, yeah, that one might have been worth it. But yeah,
Winter Soldier's pretty cool.
it is. He is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think as an adult, the last two that I would put on my like, oh man, uh, Jeff Darrow and Amanda Connor. Both of them
I
blow me
need to
away every
read more
time I.
Darrow. I love Amanda Connor.
Yeah.
That
Well, her
reminds me, I
power.
need to. She and Jimmy are going to be at Van Expo Chicago,
Oh
and
man.
I'd reached out to them about doing a panel, and
Oh
we
wow.
need to iron out details.
That's awesome. Yeah, their Power
I
Girl
shouldn't have said on air
is
because it's not actually
yeah,
Jimmy's interested, but we haven't ironed out details. Jimmy's a cool guy. Haven't met Amanda yet,
really,
but Jimmy was on, and we had a lot of fun with Jimmy.
really. Yeah,
Yeah,
that their run on Power Girl, that was one of my last like mainstream superhero books that I really look forward to every month.
yeah. I
But
loved
yeah.
their Wednesday comics.
Oh yeah.
Supergirl,
Yeah.
the Supergirl story in Wednesday comics.
Yeah, it's I totally understand why she predominantly does like covers and writing and that kind of thing now, but like I really
She still
miss.
does a she still does a fair. I mean, right now they're doing I think Harley Quinn Elvira.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I mean that. I don't think she ever does more than a series at a time, but
Yeah.
and Jimmy does a lot more writing than drawing or inking these days, it feels like.
Yeah.
Though I think he might still ink her.
Huh. Yeah, man. Gosh. Yeah, Quesada was another one that, good
Yeah,
Lord.
Joe
And
Quesada.
when he was paired with Kevin Nolan on
Okay.
sort of Azrael, that
Right.
miniseries was that might still be my favorite comic
See,
illustration.
for me, Quesada and Jimmy are will and always will be the guys who revitalized Daredevil for me.
Yeah, yeah. No, I could
And
definitely
just
see it.
Marvel Knights, and then were instrumental in Ultimate Marvel. I mean,
Yeah,
their time reworking Marvel, I think is. I mean, Marie Javins at DC right now is doing some pretty freaking
yeah,
impressive stuff too. But in terms of eras where like the
yeah,
entire superhero line got rejuvenated, their time at Marvel goes really high on the list.
yeah. Well, and especially like, and I don't intend to speak ill, but like Axel Alonso's kind of tenure, there was a lot of different approaches.
Right.
And
I think that
I
came
feel like
after.
Quesada. Oh, did it?
I thought Axel came
Yeah, no,
after.
you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Axel
of
picked
what
up from
seemed.
them.
Yeah,
I think it was like and they did great work too, but I think it was I feel like it was DeFalco
yeah.
who
Okay.
stuck around even after they took over. I mean that's the weird thing about Marvel
Hmm.
editors in chief is a lot of the time like um it's it'll whoever takes over the other ones will still be there.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
you, you
Yep.
know but
Except
yeah,
for, yeah.
Axel, I think he's been doing great stuff at AWA lately.
Really?
Yeah, I've loved a lot of what AWA has done. Axel's another one that I think started at Vertigo. Vertigo was like
Yeah.
as far as editors go, like almost every great editor of our generation got their start at Vertigo. I mean, Karen Berger, obviously, Shelley Bond, obviously, but like Stuart Moore didn't
Yeah.
start at Vertigo, but became
Yeah.
solid there, and then just, yeah,
Yeah. I'm grateful. Um, yeah. It was kind of heartbreaking when that was shuttered for a bit.
yeah,
But it is cool
yeah,
to kind of, um, yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, I
No,
was
it
looking.
was more than heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like Shelley's been on a number of times, and generally doesn't get too deep into it, but like particularly because like she saw the writing on the wall
Hmm.
enough that like she wasn't shocked when she got fired, but like
Yeah.
she picked up and moved to LA with them.
Yeah.
She was still doing great work, and then suddenly they weren't interested anymore. Thankfully,
Yeah.
it took Chris Ryle all of 30 seconds. I think she
Hmm.
was walking out of the meeting where she'd been fired when she got the message from Chris Ryle saying,
Yeah.
I hear you're free.
I hope I one day leave that kind of legacy with my. Yeah. So,
I mean, on one side, like, I get the younger people who get frustrated. How are you ever supposed to break in if every job goes to somebody who's had it already?
yeah.
But on the other side, if you're good at something, then yeah, like if somebody's dumb enough to let you go, somebody else is going to go, thank you.
Yeah. No, well, and that's the thing when a corporate environment becomes too focused on the corporate piece. It's like, yeah, someone like that should have somewhere to land.
Right.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting on a tangent.
No, no. A, I started that tangent.
Yeah,
B, once again, like we might as well call ourselves 22 tangents,
yeah,
except that that's probably too low.
yeah,
222 tangents,
yeah,
22 tangents. Um, but it's getting late and I'm getting even more slap happy. And I started this show slap happy tonight. So let's get to my
yeah,
favorite closing questions.
yeah.
Um, this first one, I'm curious as to what your answer is going to be because like you're in the running for least experience in the industry of people that I've talked to.
Oh, okay,
Uh, and this is one that like experience winds up mattering. But like
okay.
in the five, as you've probably noticed in the less than 5 years since I started this podcast, like I feel like I've entered the twilight zone. Like the people that I call my friends, the people that I text with, the experiences that I've had that I like have to. I took a picture with
Yeah,
Terry Moore that
yeah.
I emailed, that I texted to to, to
Paul Pope.
another famous.
Yeah,
um, I went to a baseball game with, you know, where you just have to pinch myself to go, that really happened.
yeah,
Um, but I find that it doesn't matter how long you've been in this industry.
yeah,
You have and continue to have surreal, crazy experiences where it's like, wait a minute, how did this become part of my life?
yeah,
We've started
yeah,
collecting the stories. Tell me a story that like if you
yeah,
weren't into comics, if comics wasn't something that you took seriously, that you worked at doing, that like you never would have had blank experience.
yeah. Well, the one I don't know how interesting it'll be to anybody else, but one of my favorite memories is back when the Wizard World conventions were happening.
I remember those.
Uh, Angel Medina would always show up in Chicago, and I already referenced that
I
he
went to
was
the
great to
Chicago
talk to.
one once.
Oh yeah, I I showed him my portfolio, and he was the first pro to tell me that I could really do this if I wanted to.
Cool.
Um, and I didn't, at the time, I had just gotten married and things I made other decisions, but like,
You mean you chose the life where you could pay for things like rent and or mortgages and eat 3 meals a
yeah,
day?
well, it is, that's the other piece. It's, there's a level of scariness to being
Oh,
a comic artist that's undersold. And like
not on this show.
insurance. Yeah, man. Well, that's the thing. Like, in a parallel story. Anyway, talking to Angel Medina, he had a similar appreciation for John Byrne, and John Byrne was the first artist to tell him that
Right.
he was good enough if he really wanted to. Uh, but yeah, to your point and kind of where we were going. Recently, I went to the Memphis Comic Expo a couple of years back, and just the number of artists who they told the same story over and over. They were doing their own thing, not just because they wanted to do their own thing, but because like the big two were not calling them back anymore. And that's heartbreaking because they're good. They're not just like they weren't outdated. Their skill was still incredible, and they were struggling to find like that contract work, so they were doing their own thing. And it's like, you know, health insurance, all these different things. It's a different life,
Well, I mean, half the
you
time,
know.
even when you're at the big two, you're a contracted worker, so you don't have health
Yeah,
insurance. You don't have,
yeah,
every attempt to unionize comics has failed miserably. There's debate over whether or not you could.
yeah,
It'd have to be something along the lines of like the Writers Guild, Actors Guild, etc. But there
yeah.
there are legit legal questions as to whether or not those could be formed now or whether they're kind of grandfathered in. because they
Yeah.
existed as now. That's a whole like listen to enough episodes, you know that I can go down deep political.
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah,
like to call it policy rabbit holes because the only
yeah,
reason it's political is because there's only one party that gives a damn about policy right now, and the
yeah,
other
yeah,
only gives a damn about billionaires being more
yeah,
billionaires
yeah.
and or trillionaires. Don't get me wrong. The party that cares about policy doesn't always treat the billionaires as harshly as they should. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to, but I'll also
No,
say that they're not the same. For anybody
no,
out there
not at
that's like,
all.
oh, they are all corrupt.
Yeah.
There
No, I think,
are degrees.
yeah. No, for sure. Well, and
He
there's a
says on
whole
the day
segment.
where the president created a $1.7 billion slush fund for himself, right
Yeah.
out in the open.
Yeah. No, and actually, yeah, I grew up anyway,
I
I'll
mean,
just say,
I know that you're in Nashville, so you're in
yep.
a slightly bluer part of a very red area.
Yeah. Well, and but I'll say like going through like the last few years of reevaluating like faith and everything, like it's not easy in certain parts of the country because like family sees you a certain way, friends see you
Mhm.
a certain way, and even if they don't see you that way, like there's just no understanding.
Well,
Despite the
this
fact
is one of
that
the places where I will absolutely also blame the left because too much of the left has so wants to paint people of faith so
yeah,
one-dimensionally that it makes it
yeah.
hard for them not to become what they're painted as.
Well, and it's hard too because like, you know, 80% of evangelicals voted in a specific way. So
Uh-huh.
it's very difficult to not paint with a broad brush. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and it's I don't know.
Well, but all
It's
the more so when like the left will paint mainline Christians as evangelicals even when they're not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I just
You
say
know, the number
who
of
the hell
people who
knows?
don't know the difference between a Methodist and a
Yeah,
they whether they like to call it they're non-denominational nut job.
yeah, yeah. No,
Um,
for sure.
I mean, because I get this. I grew up in Wheaton, Illinois,
Yeah, yeah,
Bible Belt of the Midwest.
yeah.
I had to learn the Bible backwards and forwards to deal with my bullies in public school.
Gosh,
Now,
yeah,
thankfully, I have an aunt that's a Methodist minister, so I had the resources to be able to do that. But that's also
yeah,
why, for a long time, I've been aware that like different denominations view
yeah,
things differently. I have always been much bigger on denominations that talk about the things that you should do because you're
yeah,
Christian than the things that you shouldn't, or more importantly, the things other people shouldn't do because of
yeah,
Christianity. It's like, are
yeah,
we reading the same book here? This is where I'll give a quick plug because this is a comics podcast.
yeah.
Anybody who wants to like actually understand stuff like this a little bit better, go read Mark Russell's Second Coming. Read Mark Russell's God is Disappointed in You and Apocrypha Now.
Yeah,
All of those are like he grew up evangelical and then
yeah.
read the Bible and went,
Whew.
um, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yep.
have some questions.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, and that's the hardest part too, because okay, for people who are hardwired a specific way, who think literally, who um, uh, believe that the rules exist for a specific reason, and
Mhm.
trust that those who instill those rules have evaluated them because they love them and they
Right.
understand that responsibility to grow up and then to see the rules. the rules were not the thing that mattered. They were the control mechanism. What actually
Right.
mattered was being able to hang on to your stuff.
Well, I mean, I'll go a step further. My wife and I were having this conversation just the other day.
Mhm.
We recently managed to buy 2 cars in one weekend on no money because of my connections in the comic community.
Oh,
Okay. And she's still like sometimes pinches herself. She's like, because she's like, I don't even know, like I don't have the trust to be able to go. I went along with you when you said we should go here first because,
yeah,
this is a friend of, or this is the brother of this person, and they'll guide us in
yeah,
the, because like walking into the dealership, I did not expect to walk out with 2 cars. I expected to walk out with a lot more information and an ally,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I wound up walking out with 2 cars, which is better, but like I didn't have that expectation.
Right.
But one of the things I said to her was, yeah, no, the thing is, for me, it's not about trust. It's about, I know I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
So I need somebody who does know how to do this. And the only part of that's trust based is, can I find somebody that I have reason to believe that they know how to do it, that's based on more than them telling me that they know how to do it?
Yeah. 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 And that's life. Yeah.
Is there somebody that I can find that it's more than trust me, bro?
Yeah.
And the answer is I can through the comic community. Um,
Yeah.
that's what churches are for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something
No, for sure.
crazy happens and they go to their pastor to pray on it. And yes, they pray on it, and that's a big thing. But in praying on it, the pastor
Mhm.
also goes, Joe owns a car dealership,
Yeah. Yeah.
or Bill's a mechanic, or Susie, is a realtor.
Yeah.
Let me give you her number. You
Yeah.
should talk to her. And in that way, this person that you didn't have a specific relationship with is part of a community that you do have a relationship with. And
Mhm.
therefore, they both have a reason to help you out, and you have a reason to trust them to be helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is something that we completely discount. I mean, so often you hear people talking about, oh, all of the policies are screwing these people in the. I'm like, yeah, they're getting screwed. And the one place where they're accepted and can get the help they need and whatnot is their church. And you're telling them to leave it because evangelicals brought us Trump. Do you
Yeah.
understand the problem?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it offers what country clubs do for the wealthy.
Right.
You know, and community is it's a requirement
Right.
for survival a lot of times.
Um,
So yeah.
So yeah, it's just, I mean, again, it's more complicated than that. This is one of those places where us neurodiverse people go, I don't understand how you can't see this. And the neurotypicals are like, what?
Oh, well,
And then you explain it, they're like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah.
But this doesn't feel right. It's like, it's not
Yeah.
about feelings.
Oh, don't get on a yeah. Anyway.
Don't get me wrong, feelings are very important. But
Oh yeah.
this is
No, I
not
know
one
what
of the
you mean.
places where, how is it that you neuro difficult people don't want us to have feelings when like our dog dies,
Yeah.
but want us to vote for people based on how we feel about them?
Yeah. If we want to have a beer with them.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Feelings when your school got shot up,
Um,
bad.
yeah.
Feelings when deciding that, like, I feel like I'm safer if I have an M15, and therefore everybody should be able to have M15s. That's when we're
Yeah.
supposed to have feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
How hard is it to figure out more guns equals more gun death?
Yeah.
And I'm becoming, but I'm not actually a full on abolish the Second Amendment guy. And the only reason
Yeah.
I'm even becoming full on abolish the Second Amendment guy isn't that I'm a full on take away the guns. It's like if we're going to treat the Second Amendment as it's completely infallible, then you know what?
Yeah.
It's got to go so we can write something that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and it's
You convinced me. The Second Amendment is bad. I
yeah.
wasn't going to make that argument, but you convinced, not you, Stephen. I mean, maybe I don't know you well enough.
I'm not that persuasive, but but yeah, I mean the power the deep roots of lobbyist groups like the NRA are they're impossible to track just how influential they are because it's not just them. They have children groups and they have indoctrination processes and they have all of these established. So
You
yeah,
want
it's
to have
paring it
your head
down is
explode? Read, I think it's Jane Mayer. Make certain. Let me make certain I have the 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 author's name right. Yeah, Jane Mayer, Dark Money: the hidden history of the billionaires behind the radical right.
the other. Well, I'll read that one if you'll read God's Own Party, which is about the
I've heard of this one.
yeah, the dark marriage, but essentially between how how the National Prayer Breakfast mutated into a Republican Party that sees itself as Christian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so
No, I know this one.
yeah, it's a pretty
Of
incredible
course,
book.
it looks like it's really out of
Out of
print.
print. It is. Yeah. Hey, I could send you a PDF that I purchased.
Well, feel free to.
So okay, I'll do that.
Free to.
Yeah, it's one of the most
Otherwise,
compelling.
I'm pretty certain my mom. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. There is an updated version coming out in August, though.
Oh, awesome.
Though
Yeah, I had
that's got $150 pre-order price guarantee
yeah,
on
mine
the
was
hardcover.
45 when I
Paperback's
got it.
$29.99. Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get an audiobook too, because that's how I do most of my prose these days.
Yeah,
But
me
I
too.
will totally throw that on my list. And I feel like my mom is like the sister of the Methodist minister. So
Yeah.
and still very active in her own church. So like she's
Yeah.
often the one that tosses the good books my direction.
Yeah.
I'll be like I'm not currently I I I sometimes I've been on and off active in churches based almost entire first of all pretty much only Methodist churches and secondly like based almost entirely on the quality of the pastor as a communicator, but also like
Mm.
a thought provoker, not somebody who
Yeah.
tells you what to think,
Yeah.
but helps
Yeah.
you ask questions, encourages you to ask more questions. You know, I've even quite enjoyed a number of Bible studies in my life, but only the ones that like are much more let's explore this than this is how it is. Did I lose you, Stephen? You're definitely frozen on screen, but I also don't hear you. Or we're having technical difficulties. Hopefully not for so long that I feel like I need to edit because I've got one question left to ask Stephen, the most important question. I just need him to come back, and I lost him, so we're going to pause. All right, we're back. The technical difficulties are over, but just to be safe, we're going to get to that last question right now. Stephen, tell me something you love.
Mhm.
Preferably a comic, but we don't really have rules. Preferably storytelling, but again with the rules, but something that you love that not enough people around you have experienced and you'd really like them to, so you have more
Oh,
people to talk about it with.
ElfQuest.
ElfQuest.
Yeah,
That's a good
yep.
one.
It's just a
I
joy,
need to
visually,
like
narratively.
I've read the first volume, I know, and I can't remember if I read the second volume. Like the big
Yeah.
Dark Horse volumes. So
Oh my
like
gosh.
I
Yeah.
have more ElfQuest reading to do. So I might like hook you up to do a book club.
Okay.
Um, because I was emailing with a friend of mine recently or today about possibly doing some book clubs over the summer because I have this
Yeah.
stack of things that I want to read, and sometimes the only way to make myself get to it is to
Yeah.
schedule an episode.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. Well, and I tell you, yeah, Wendy Penny has a couple of very interesting YouTube biographies uh, that if you haven't heard her whole story, that's almost
I
as
mean, I know
wonderful
that
as
she started out as a cosplayer.
yeah, yeah, and wanted to get into animation. Worked with Ralph Bakshi for a while, and then
Yeah, those
dreamed
parts
of
I
an
didn't know. I
animated Elf
just knew that she
Quest.
started out as a
Yeah,
cosplayer.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, spoilers, I guess. Yeah,
No, that's okay. I might not get to them anytime soon.
yeah,
Though, like it's another one of those things where I keep meaning to reach out to Wendy because that would also make me
yeah,
finish reading.
yeah, yeah.
You know, again, like I have all of these tools to make myself get around to things. It's like, oh,
Yep,
I've been meaning to read this forever. Let me set up an
yeah,
interview. Now I have to read it.
yep, yep.
So, Stephen, it's been really fun. I hope we plugged your book
Yeah.
well enough. The book again is Scar Tissue Bargains on Kickstarter soon. So go sign up to be notified about launch. Uh, I got to read it and it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Definitely those people like me who both like personal work and work that shows thoughtfulness and like artistic growth. This is a book for you.
Mhm.
Um, just don't charge it. I mean, this is always the balance with people and like don't you dare lose money, but
Yeah,
but the more you can allow people to read it without having to break the bank on it, the better.
yeah, yeah.
The
That makes
upside
sense.
is you're done with it, so you don't have to pay an artist.
That's true. Yep. Unless I want to fix it. Yeah.
And it's good if you get paid, but I'm assuming that you have a day job, and that's why you were able to like do your
Yep.
comic by
Yep.
staying up into the wee hours of the night, and
Yep. Just like, yeah,
sometimes
thousand others. Yep.
sometimes welcoming the kids when they wake up and pretending that you just got out of the shower rather than we're at the
Often.
drawing board.
Yep. Uh, man, it's really been a pleasure. I'm really grateful I got to meet you
You know,
conversation.
I mean, again, keep in touch. Like if I
Yeah.
don't reach out to you to do Elf Quest book club, feel free to like flip it back on me and say, "Hey, you said we were going to read Elf Quest," and I'll probably go, "Oh yeah," and we'll set something up. But otherwise, like, let me know when the
Yeah.
Kickstarter goes live.
Okay.
That sort of thing. Definitely stay in touch because I had fun. I love talking comics. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Me too.
we have so many book clubs and whatnot that I'm all for allowing people to be involved in 22. I view 22 panels as a community. I'm
Yeah.
the I'm the activity director. Maybe that's what I should put on my business card.
Yeah, man. I'll
I
definitely,
came from senior care. I used to be an activity director.
I totally understand. I was a concierge for a while. Yes.
So, all right, for
Yeah.
22 panels, this has been Stephen Fox, and we will see you after the next page.